Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Monday, the 30th of January 2023. Now, some of you may have noticed that there was not a video on Saturday or Sunday. You would not think that was planned because Mill didn't have a game, but that was not planned. I have been sick as a dog, and more on that later. But let's get into the big news about Millwall. Because we've only gone and actually bloody done it. We've only gone to sign someone, Oliver Burke, on loan. A player that was on loan with us before. So we've gone back in for him. He moved to Germany. I think it's Werder Bremen. And he was being used as a substitute off the bench. And he got actually, earlier on in the season, he got a couple of good, I think he got an equalising goal coming off the bench and a winning goal coming off the bench. But since then, not a lot. So this is from millwallfc.co.uk. Oliver Burke joins Millwall on loan. Millwall Football Club is delighted to announce the signing of Oliver Burke on loan from Werder Bremen until the end of the 22-23 season. The 25-year-old joins Gary Rout's squad and will form part of the Lions' front line between now and May. Burke, born in Kirkcaldy, Scotland, began his professional career at Nottingham Forest before a move to Germany and RB Leipzig, sandwiched a loan spell at Bradford City. £15 million move back to the UK and West Brom followed, with Burke's career then taking him to Celtic and Alaves on loan before Bramall Lane came calling. Ford moved to the Bundesliga once again and Bremen in the summer of 2022, but he now finds himself helping the Lions on loan for a second time. Indeed. So we know who he is. We know what he's about. It's speed. He's very quick, especially for a white guy. Yeah, I said it. So he gives you that option. He can run, and he does run quite a bit. Like he will run down balls. He's not lazy. He knows he's quick, and he uses that. But generally, it's off of the ball running. So you put the ball over the top, and he'll run onto it. It's not. He can dribble with it, but he was here last year. You know what he's about. So it's good in terms of if you're bringing someone in the January transfer window, in terms of them getting into the swing of things pretty quickly. Well, someone who's been here before, they know what's going on, they know they can get into it pretty quickly. So that's good from that aspect. And we'll see, he's definitely a quality player, playing in Premier League, playing in Bundesliga. Albeit not starting, being a sub, being used as a sub. But he's definitely someone with a bit of quality about him. So we'll see what he can do for us this time around. Now moving on to news of the transfer from the southwarknews.co.uk. Millwall confirmed loan deal to bring Scottish forward back to the Den. Oliver Burke will spend the rest of the campaign with the Lions as they look to secure a top 6 finish. Burke, 25, joined Werder Bremen from Sheffield United on a permanent deal over the summer. The Lions were keen to bring him back after his loan spell at the Den last season, but were unable to beat the Bundesliga club to his signature. After a promising start at the Westerstadion, Burke struggled for goals and minutes in the starting lineup, often being relied on to change the game in the dying stages. As a result, they announced this morning that the deal had been agreed to send the Scottish international out on loan, allowing Mill to bring him in till the end of the campaign. Burke scored 2 goals in 14 championship games for Gary Rout's men last season and will arrive back in London as another option to bolster their forward line. The Lions are also expected to announce the signing of Duncan Watmore from championship rivals Middlesbrough, with the 28-year-old having his medical this afternoon. Now, that has not been officially announced yet, and we move on to the story from the Southern News about that. They did a separate story. This has been ongoing, so that hasn't been announced yet. Are we in the Kevin Nisbet situation? Funnily enough, Duncan Watmore and Kevin Nisbet have the same birthday. They were both born on the 8th of March, on different years, but they have the same birthdays. Does that mean anything? Does it mean we're going to get the same result? Is he not going to come down now? Why has the move not been announced? Are the club just trying to spread it out, to spread the good news around? Is he still up in the northeast? Was the medical conducted in the northeast? Is he coming down today to do pictures today or tomorrow on Tuesday? I don't know. Is the move off and we haven't heard about it yet? I don't know. So, like I said, this is from southernnews.co.uk. Mill set to sign forward from Championship playoff rivals. Duncan Watmore is set to join Oli Burke as the Lions' 2 signings before the deadline day. And that was it. That was what Gary Rowett said. So it looks like we're not getting a striker. It looks like we're going with Tom Bradshaw and Vogelsammer. So maybe Vogelsammer will now be a striker, and Burke will be played on the wings. Millwall set to sign Duncan Watmore from Championship rivals Middlesbrough on a permanent deal. Watmore, 28, is a versatile attacker who is capable of playing across the front line. After ending his youth career at Manchester United, he quickly moved to non-league Altrincham and had loan spells with Clitheroe and Kershaw Ashton. So this is a guy who started off at the top table and got bounced out into non-league and worked his way back up. He was picked up by Sunderland in 2013, playing 71 games and scoring 5 goals over 7 years, including a loan spell at Scottish Premiership outfit Hibernian in 2014. However, he departed the stadium like the local rivals Middlesbrough in 2020, where his scoring record has improved dramatically, finding the back of net 21 times in 87 matches. So, he joined Sunderland in 2013, and he's moved to Middlesbrough. That means he's been in the North East for 10 years. Is he reluctant to move all the way down to London, having been in the North East for 10 years? Is that why the deal hasn't been announced? Is the deal off? Watmore is also a former England youth international who was likened Gareth Bale by then Sunderland teammate Jermaine Defoe, who highlighted his impressive ball control as a key characteristic. Well, we love that at Millwall, then we love a bit of ball control. Watmore will become Millwall's 3rd signing of the season after Edomu Maku joined from Shamrock Rovers and Oliver Burke returned to the Den on loan from Werder Bremen. So, here's the thing though. This has been announced as a deal that's basically done by Southern News, by South London Press. It's an open secret. Would they put this up if the deal isn't being done? In fact, Richard Cooley of the South London Press said in his tweet that the deal was in talks for 10 days, which I think was an attempt by him, or was told to him like that, in terms of trying to get it out. This isn't a panic move. I imagine we've been talking to Duncan Watmore from the start of January because his contract is up at the end of the season. So here's the thing, maybe Middlesbrough, they haven't offered him a contract by now, then they're clearly not interested in keeping him. Because a lot of our players, we've already given them contracts. We gave Hutch a contract before the season started. You know what I'm saying? And I think we haven't given a contract to Benny yet. And probably because he keeps getting injured. But what can you do? So, if his contract's up at the end of the season, teams can start talking to him. So it seems that we've been talking to him. So the situation is, if he signs a pre-contract agreement with us, the deal's done in the summer. It's done and dusted. Done now, but it will happen in the summer. So then you take that pre-contract agreement, you go to Middlesbrough and say, look, he's joining us in the summer anyway. We'll give you, 100 grand. he can come with us now. Then it's up to Middlesbrough to say, yeah, no, we'd rather he didn't. Now, why would they? They might not. Why would they let that go through though? Like it says, they're championship playoff rivals. So why would they let a player go to their rivals if it's going to improve them? So that might be the hold up. They might be in being funny about it. You know what I'm saying? Another thing, there's a rumor going around. This is, it's a rumor on the line, so it's probably about 0.5% true. That Middlesbrough are trying to sign Charlie Cresswell. Charlie Cresswell is on loan from Leeds. Their recall option has expired, so we basically need to send him back to Leeds for him to be then sold to Middlesbrough. And they're trying to get that to happen before they'll let Duncan Watmore go to us. I think that in the business world they call that leverage, and we're not playing ball with that. So then they're not playing ball with this. How true that is, like I said, it's an internet rumor, probably nonsense, but who knows? But yeah, but it's been announced like it's a done deal. So you would assume it basically is a done deal. I don't know, but they're talking like it's a done deal. The Southwark News and the South London Press. So you would think they've been told by the club that basically pretty much done and dusted. But that doesn't mean don't count your chickens until they've hatched, because you might end up with some lizards. Now, talking about counting chickens that didn't hatch, Mr. Kevin Nisbet. Remember him? Shall we talk about him for just 1 second before we forget about him entirely? The transfer that wasn't. I'm sure a lot of you were hoping that his knee exploded, but he hasn't. So don't be mean. Don't be mean. Don't be wishing ill on people. He actually came off the bench. He was on the bench for Hibernian's 6-0 thrashing of Aberdeen. Aberdeen. They lost to a non-league team in the FA Cup, the Scottish FA Cup, and they got thrashed 6-0. Poor old Aberdeen, huh? And Kevin Nisbet came off the bench. 5 minutes later, he's got a goal. 12 minutes later, he's got a yellow card. And I wanted to share with you this as well. Those of you who used to read Viz magazine back in the day, or still do, Billy the Fish is real. He's a real person. William Fish, he scored the 6th goal for Hibernian. Billy the Fish. Yeah, but Kevin Nisbet scored. And let's hear from the manager. We just go back.
I tell you what, with Kevin, when he gets the bit between his teeth on anything, he's got that ability and self-belief to be able to focus intently on what he wants. And he rang me up yesterday. He said, "Look, I'm coming back and I want to start." I'm like, "Do you know what I mean?" I'm like, "Look, we've worked all week. You've been away for a week. You haven't kicked a ball in anger, but obviously I'll get you on, and we've got another game Tuesday." But I think he had that sort of laser focus, if you like, and he has to keep scoring goals. So, if you want anybody one-on-one with a keeper half a pitch, it's him, isn't it?
Uncensored, unbiased, unmatched.
A little insight into what happened. So he called him up on Thursday, apparently. Here's what it is, though. Yeah, back into the swing of things. Scoring goals are fun. Obviously, we'll wait to see. So it seems genuine about him going back to Hibernian and playing for them and concentrating on playing for them, because he was involved in the team. He came on and scored. Now, obviously, the window's still open. He's got until the end of the month, a couple of days to go. Well, it's basically tomorrow now, isn't it? There's one more day to go. What is it? Tuesday at 11 p.m. So we'll wait and see if he's a man of his word and he's still at Hibernian come the 1st of February. Now, Millwall signed Oli Burke. They've signed, there's a strong possibility that we may have signed Duncan Watmore, but that hasn't been confirmed yet. So we just heard about Kevin Nisbet. Now, one of Millwall's other targets, talking about identifying people with sickness. Obviously Kevin Nisbet with his knee, and we've got Linden Dykes here. He's in hospital. Why is he in hospital? Well, he missed a QPR's game the other day with suspected pneumonia. A healthy, fit professional footballer, although his thighs are not very defined for a professional footballer, in the hospital with possible pneumonia. Yeah. So there we go. We do know how to pick him, don't we? I wonder if Millwall will go back in for him and still trying to sign him, and get him to pass the medical with pneumonia. But there you go. Yeah, I think I might have that because I've been very, very sick, and there is a thing going around called RSV, and it's no fun. So if you've got a cough and it's not going away, take it seriously, because you might end up like Linden Dykes here in a hospital bed. So obviously we didn't play this weekend. There was FA Cup, but some teams were involved in the championship. If we go back, this is from WhoScored.com. So for Middlesbrough beat Watford. Both teams in the playoff places, still in the playoff places. Obviously QPR lost 3-0 against Hull, missing Linden Dykes, and Coventry beat Huddersfield 2-0. So what that means is the table looks like this. Middlesbrough move up to third, Watford are in fourth, Blackburn, Norwich, and Luton. Now, Luton play on Tuesday. They play Cardiff, and you would think that they should be winning that game. But Luton played Grimsby at the weekend at home in the FA Cup, and they didn't beat them, which has complications possibly for Millwall, and more on that later. So if Luton do win that game, they will then go into the playoffs, and then everyone else will drop down, and Norwich will be out the back door temporarily until we go again. But then Mill will then have game in hand on Luton. We currently have games in hand on a few other teams there. 2 games in hand on Middlesbrough and Watford. So plenty of fun times still ahead in the Championship playoff hunt. So Luton, what's going on with them? So obviously 2-2 against Grimsby. Are they back in League 2 now? I think they're in League 2 now, yeah? Now this is annoying. Why is this annoying? Because this game here on the 28th of the 2nd, 2023, Luton versus Millwall, is a rearranged from a postponed game. That is the week, so the FA Cup 5th round will be taking place in the midweek during that midweek. So if Luton win against Grimsby, that game would have been postponed. But annoyingly for us, they drew. So then we now have to wait even longer to find out. So they now have to go away to Grimsby in a week's time, on the 7th of February, and then play Grimsby. If they beat them, then our game will be postponed against Luton. If they don't win that game, then Millwall can start selling the away tickets to Luton, which I'm sure you're all interested in, because QPR away game sold out, and I'm pretty sure the Luton away game will sell out as well, because that's an easy one to get to, and we don't get many tickets for that because that's a very small old stadium. So although it's obviously set to be on Sky, so that helps in some fashion. But yeah, so all eyes on Grimsby versus Luton in terms of whether our game will be postponed for the 2nd time. So yeah. So next up for us, game against Sunderland. And then this game here, the one there, that could be postponed. So keep an eye out for that. QPR game, the one after Sunderland game. Away tickets sold out. I think on the so that's very popular. What are we doing now? We're going to. So this is a bit of a weird one. Normally on Mill's Twitter, you get a lot of stuff going on regarding the under-21s. It isn't match day. They live tweet the game. They at least give you the bloody teams, let you know who's playing. Now, obviously today, because they've been at the training ground interviewing Oliver Burke, maybe taking pictures of Duncan Watmore, we don't know. They've obviously been very busy today. They didn't tell us nothing about the under-21 game today, which is here. So obviously under-21 match report. So I've had to go to Charlton website, charltonafc.com, for some reason. Isn't it Charlton Athletic FC.FC? So why is it AFC? I don't know. I have no idea. Finished 3-3. So this is Millwall's first game back. They're supposed to have 2 games before this QPR game, Ipswich game. 5 games got postponed because of the pitch. One was frozen and one was waterlogged. So they had to wait a long time. They last played like in the middle of December, so long time. It's obviously a bit rusty, but they kept on going. Now I watched this game. I watched it on Charlton TV. I contributed £4 to Charlton's transfer fund, so it'd be fun to see which failure they spend that on. But it was interesting. So obviously halfway through the first half, Charlton are 2-0 up, and I'm switch off in a fit of apathy. And as I'm scrolling through Twitter trying to see who we haven't or haven't signed, I get informed, Millwall scored a penalty, Seb Drost. So then I go back to the game and just see Millwall just attack after attack. See Millwall get back in the game. See Charlton have a mad counter attack, end up going 3-2 with about 4 minutes left. Here we go. Game's done and dusted. Well, it's not, because this team doesn't give up. They know how to attack and they just keep going for it. And right at the end, basically with the last play of the game, cross comes in, header goes in, goal, 3-3. Beautiful stuff. So there you go. So obviously this match report's from Charlton, so it's written from the other view. So I'm not really gonna read it all because I don't care about Charlton. So it was at Princes Park as well. It was in front of a crowd of about 200, I think they said. So Charlton opened the scoring within 4 minutes, bundling home from close range off the line. Stopper Joe Wright spilled Harvey Kedwell's in swinging corner. It's interesting. So Joe Wright's first game back since injury, I believe. So he's a bit rusty there. If that's true, what they've wrote there, that he spilled that corner. So obviously we'll see. Obviously he's got Day. Do they keep him for the under-21s or do they loan him out? I think, is there still an extra loan window after tomorrow? I think tomorrow's window is just for sales, yeah? I think so. So then they scored again on 33 minutes, so they go 2-0 up. Interestingly, Danny Sender, former Millwall defender, is their manager. The Lions were awarded the penalty on the stroke of half time when Seb Droz was brought down and he stepped up and fired a home penalty. Millwall level proceeding 7 minutes after the restart. Finley Cotton's deep free kick found Frankie Hivid, who headed home from a matter of yards. So even though we haven't got team sheet, we've got Joe Wright, we've got Seb Drost, we've got Finley Cotton, and we've got Frankie Hivid. Kanu restored Charlton's advantage 14 minutes from time. Yeah, that was the ball over the top. So it was 14 minutes to go. Okay. The Lions came from behind once more though. It's Chinopoli nodded home Abdul Malik's cross past Cone in the 4th minute for injury time to earn the visitors a share of the spoils. Yes. Yeah, brilliant stuff. Very interesting to watch them. They're a very attacking team. Obviously, a number of players missing now. Hibernian's not there. Bez is not there. I couldn't. They had one camera, and it was a long shot. Couldn't really tell who played. I did see some familiar faces. The ones mentioned, obviously, Adam Maliki. Obviously, you can tell him because he's glorious hair. But other than that, I'm not really sure. Obviously, we've got no team sheet. We've got no match report from Millwall, so they were obviously busy taking pictures of Oliver Burke and his watch and his tattoos. Understandable. So, was this lad playing? So obviously this came out over the weekend. Another Irish player from St Patrick's Athletic. Millwall take Irish teen on trial. Italian side also keeping tabs. This is from the irishmirror.ie. Cian Corbally. St Patrick's Athletic youngster, Cian Corbally, is on his way to Millwall this weekend, while a number of other clubs in League 1, League 2 and Serie B are also keeping tabs on the 18-year-old. Corbally is set to spend 2 weeks at the Den. He's already trained with Newport County, while Barnsley and Colchester have also expressed an interest in the teenager midfielder. Among his admirers is an unnamed club from the Italian second tier. So basically, with the transfer window closing tomorrow, if he's here for 2 weeks, the deal's not going to be done by then, is it? I think this is kind of like trial, but trial not just for us but for him as well. So obviously, in terms of moving in the summer, so he's probably thinking, okay, I want to move in the summer. Let me go around and see what interest there is, what level I'm at. Go to a club, get involved in training, see how I do. So we'll see. Did he play today? I don't know. No idea. Is that why we haven't got a match report and a team sheet? Because they don't want us to. Maybe it'll just be listed as trialist. I don't know. Cian Corbally, obviously, it's from St Pat's. It's interesting stuff there. So yeah, this is probably a signing for the summer. Don't know. Very much doubt that it'll go through tomorrow. Now talking about youngsters, Loan Watch. This is from southwarknews.co.uk. Millwall Loan Watch. Midfielder loses relegation 6-pointer in the National League. Jamal Lawson's Maidstone United lost further ground in the battle to avoid the drop in the National League South. Jamal Lawson started for Maidstone United as they were beaten 1-0 by relegation rivals Torquay United. The Stones knew that they needed a result and play more after Scunthorpe United did a recent turnaround in form, leaving them at the bottom of the table. However, Aaron Jarvis' 79th minute strike handed all 3 points to the hosts and left George Lakobe's side 7 points from safety, having played more games than any other side in the division. Lawson played 80 minutes of the match before being substituted just before the goal, with his teammates unable to break down the goals in the dying stage of the game despite a late surge. Elsewhere, Alex Mitchell was an unused substitute. St John's 2-0 defeat to Rangers at Ibrox. An early penalty from James Tavernier and a second half goal from Glenn Kamara was enough to down the Saints in Glasgow, leaving them in 8th place. Callum Davis' men have now lost 7 games in a row in all competitions, while Mitchell has been in and out of the team despite an incredibly promising start to the campaign. Yeah, Callum Davidson, bit weird. I think the game the other day he made 3 changes at half time. He clearly put the wrong formation out, the wrong players, and he had to fix it. It's all very weird. and then they've lost 7 games in a row. So there it is. What can you do? And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.